Alright, welcome back to part 2. Episode 2. Number 2. Let's play number 2.
Well,
Let's go number 2.
somebody had said that we are not showing him the proper thing, or, well, them the proper stuff. So what he is doing right now is he's making me a friend, or no, adding me to a group, and I'm joining his group. I'll show him what the book does. You click on the book, and this kind of brings up everything. You've got your player stats, character stats. You've got your backpack, which has all your fun stuff in there. You got your pets, but he doesn't have any pets. Your deck is your spell deck. Quests that you have to do. The map. Crafting, which I don't like. Help. And all that fun stuff.
What server are we on here?
We are in Phoenix. Which is perfect.
Alright.
But the spell deck, please go to the spell deck, my dear. You can input the spell decks, like the Minor Blessing, he has none of in there. Yes, you do. You have 3 in there. But if you click on it, you can add it to the deck that you're using, which won't let him do.
You can only add however many dots there are next to it. See, there's 3 dots here, meaning you can have 3 of these spells. You don't want it? You take it back and see, it changes. I mean, you only have 1 of those. You want it back in there, you add it, it lights back up again. So you can have up to 3.
As of right now.
This changes depending on, you know, whatever deck you're using, which is based on whatever level you are. These are all your different schools of magic up here. Right now I'm just starting in life, so all I have is life spells. Like, I don't have any death spells, I don't have any of this spells, and definitely don't have any of those spells. You can have more than 1 deck. You can have, obviously, this is like your side deck. These are coming from my wand, which you can get wands, you can get pets, you can get other little things like knives and things like that, or even some pieces of equipment will give you spells.
And pets actually help you out if you get them to a certain level.
Yeah, when you get some pets, you know, depending on how much you train them, they can give you, and depending on what their levels are already, blah blah blah, they can give you little buffs. You know, they might increase your life or your magic or etc.
Mine, my other high level wizard is a death spell, which it performs. So
yeah, like the one I got on a different wizard, it increases my defenses. It if you look over at the character sheet, your defenses are down here. How much damage you do and which school it is. I do 2 extra percent of damage of life because of my fairy shoes. I have 2% extra resistance because of my hat, and I have no percentage bonus for accuracy. Crowns is how much of real money you've spent for, you know, extra shit and training points. That's extra stuff for getting your spells. Mana health, obviously. Badges, these are just kind of little things. These are like achievements.
we have nothing.
PvP, obviously we haven't done any. And time slots, that's for things like rented brooms and stuff, or like rented mounts, etc. It's your typical MMO. Down here, this is go home. There's a home. Every person has a home that you can decorate with things that you earn or craft or whatnot. If you look over here, check out this mount. They have some really nice mounts in this game though. Like, look at this dude's mount. That's pretty sweet. The flying shark. I've always liked that mount.
Hi, Scarlet.
But yeah, so where we are now, this is where the different schools of magic are, where you go to talk to trainers and things like that, which I forget what this place is called. Ravenswood, I think it's called. Also, you can mark your location,
which takes mana.
so once you do that, you can go somewhere else, go to the commons. This button's always here. It'll always take you back to the main hub of whatever world you're in. And obviously there's a cooldown that you can see, but if you teleport back to your location, it'll take you back to where you marked it. And it's a one-time shot, so you can always mark your location, but you got a cooldown to when you can come back. And
Let's see
that will go bring up a little heads-up display of where everything is, where you want to go. Click on it again, take it away.
Now
I
what?
don't think clicking on that does anything.
No. What quest are we working on, by the way?
Apparently it says talk to Nolan Stormgate in Cyclops Lane.
Nolan Stormgate. Do I have? Yes, I do have that one.
So that arrow is telling me in 409 meters. It's like GPS. 409 meters. Take a left. That guy's riding a storm cloud. That's pretty cool. They do have two people mounts. They have flying mounts, but they're more like hover mounts. They don't really fly-ish. They just kind of hover. Oh, these blue things right here give you mana. There's red ones also floating around that give you life. Your mana and your health also regenerate depending on where you are.
If you're in the common areas where there's no, fighting, that's kind of where you get your health regenerated.
This here is the auction house, sorta. There's really no like economy. Everything's the same price that you sell. Like you put it in the auction house, you don't get to set a price, or like you can't undercut people. Where'd he go? I thought he was over here. Oh no, he's in Cyclops Lane. It's just an automatic price. It's all straightforward. It's there might be 300 of one thing in there, all for the same price. But so obviously it's pretty common. And there might be one thing, but everything's always like even numbers. So like when you hit level 20, you want to go look in the auction house, you might find something new.
Chest.
When you hit 21, you're not going to find anything in the auction house unless it's been crafted. And most low level things that are crafted are usually expensive and usually really rare to come across and things like that.
There's also things that you can pick up, like where I am. There's a mandrake, and if you press X, you pick it up.
These little things are your like resources. You can find wood and rocks and
for crafting.
Random things for crafting. Too many trolls.
Oh there!
Internet's
I'm looking
worst
for both
nightmare.
you
Too many
Zoe.
trolls.
After the undead were defeated, the trolls decided to take up
And
residence.
task
With all the
force
fighting
meeting,
going
but
on, I
wanna
need some
go
new
find
magic armor.
Nolan.
Can you find Rand
Nolan,
Tamor
sorry.
and ask him to make some for me?
The Cyclops, they left the armor in crates all along.
When you are in a party,
Please
you
collect
can
these
share
crates and bring them
quests.
to me.
Like if one person turns it in, it will give you credit for it, even if you're not there. Like I can probably stand here and
I already did it, so.
no, I wouldn't.
What are you doing here? Think
What
you
are
have
you
what it
doing
takes?
here?
Let's see how useful you are. Professor Drake put me in magical. Every other student I've asked has been too afraid to go. So I'm hoping for better from you. Battle everything in the dark cave until you find the ruined skull.
And they have voice acting, obviously. If you didn't notice.
What are you doing here?
So if you look down underneath the arrow, it'll tell you what
Yeah,
your
there's a
current
red one.
quest is. And the reason we're always running on the side here is that the mobs will not come on to the sides here, the sidewalks. You can stand here and they can walk right past you, but they will not aggro to you on the sidewalk. The minute you walk out here, you can walk right up to them, behind them,
If you're in a dungeon, though,
and they won't aggro. But if you get in front of them, they will.
in a dungeon, you have to stick very close to the sides because they will aggro.
Yeah, dungeons do have slightly more, well, I wouldn't say slightly. They are increased range of aggro. But yeah, generally, if you just stay along the edges, you're fine. Or there's usually areas like this where they don't come. They all kind of follow a path. But let's go explore the dark cave.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. Okay, so now that automatically completed our quest. So now we have to defeat any undead and collect a ruined skull in the dark cave. So any undead, like you see the arrows pointing,
Ooh,
pretty much just
got
means
one.
anybody.
And
So this is the battle interface basically. Since she got in there before me, she's taking the aggro. They'll focus on her first on every attack. Generally, she's basically the tank now because she initiated the battle. Her little circle here does have some meaning. There's 4 of them. You can have a group of 4 or up to 4 people. Since I didn't get a turn, I didn't get credit for that.
sorry.
But yeah, the fights tend to happen where in these like circle areas here, like on the ground, you see how it's kind of a circle, and then there's a little bit of walking path, and then there's an area, so you can kind of just initiate it by running in front of them. The middle section is just generally where the graphics happen. They have also 4 spaces. Each symbol, these little symbols in front, the moon is okay. Obviously, you have a certain amount of time left. You can discard things if you want by right-clicking. You can just get rid of them if you don't need them, or if they're not going to be useful to you. Each spell has a cost. Some of them are 0, some of them are higher. The cost is in relation to your mana. It's also in relation to how many pips you have, which are these little glowing things down here around your circle. This yellow area is your life. It's directly related to how much life you have as it gets lower and lower. It's just another way of seeing how much life other people have and how much life the mobs have, because you can't see these. It says up here 88 out of 135. You can't see that every time, depending on if it's your turn or not. And of course, if you look down here, it'll show what school they are, what school
And
of
actually,
magic
how
they
many
are,
pips you have too.
and how many pips you have, and what symbol you're under, and the spell you're casting. Now, if time runs out, all it does is basically just skip your turn, so it's not like it's catastrophic. But if you're about to die and you miss a heal, then that's going to be kind of a pain in the ass. So there are chances of fizzling. If you fizzle, you basically your spell has just failed, and that's based on the strength of the spell. How powerful it is. Usually the higher level spells, the more powerful they are, the more risk of fizzle. You can fix that by increasing your accuracy, or by either by school or just by overall accuracy. There are spells that will decrease your accuracy if cast on you. There's ones that will increase it. There's equipment that will increase it. Pets can increase it. There's all sorts of ways of getting buffs in this game. There's a ton of equipment, and a lot of it's generally the same. A lot of it's school specific, meaning it's only going to benefit you if it's your specific school. Like, see over here, this is your loot.
Oh, I got a treasure card.
Apparently I got a sugar donut. And over here,
that food is for your pets.
yeah, this food will be for when you get pets. That's a whole nother category. This little symbol over here, when it pops up, means this person wants to talk to you. And he's just telling me what that sugar donut was, because that was apparently my first pet food.
Of the game.